Where are you in Florida?
Fruitland Park, Leesburg,
Where's that near?
the Villages.
Still haven't mentioned anything I know.
We're probably an hour north of Orlando.
Oh, okay. My, my, my Florida of many years ago is around Fort Myers, Sanibel and Captiva. Uh,
Nice.
my parents had a mobile home there for about 15 years in the early days of their retirement. They would go down. Uh, in the early days, I was living in Washington, and so was my sister, and they would leave the Cape in time to spend the Thanksgiving weekend in the D.C. area, and we would have Thanksgiving dinner together, and then they would go on for 3 or 4 days down to Sanibel. They did that for 15 years. It was
Wow.
perfect. It was perfect for my father. He was a gardener and a fisherman, so so we could so he could do that all year round with that arrangement. He had been a skier, but at the age of 72, his doctor says, no more. That cold air coming in your lungs, coming down the mountain. He had a
Yeah.
he had a heart condition, and he died a couple of years after they sold the place down in Sanibel. And
Oh, too bad. Don't
they
forget, this is all being recorded.
okay.
I don't know if there's
We have the
anybody else in the room.
well, I think Amanda's hiding down at the end of the table there.
Is that you,
Yeah.
Amanda? We can't hardly see you.
Yes, that's me. It should be
Is
a
anybody
room
else?
full.
I know there's nobody else there.
No, Joyce said that nobody would be here after about a little while ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was I wanted to come, but I don't have a ride today. So, and
Oh,
Mike can't come. He's got a meeting a Zoom meeting until 5 at home. So,
oh. I'm going to have to get off at 5:10. There was a meeting that I was scheduled last month. However, because they didn't
Oh,
have the
Joyce is
correct
here.
link, it got
Huh?
rescheduled. And so I got to be off at
Just you
5:10.
and I and everybody else is gonna be in funny little boxes.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to keep the light off or do you want them
Don't care.
off?
Yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be, not consuming energy, right?
There you go.
I'll put this on the door just in case.
Okay.
Wait, we're here. It's not all Zoom.
Yes, we are here.
unfortunately, we don't have a quorum yet. Oh, there he is.
Mike Duffy? Okay. Camilla and Mike were working till 5 today, so. Okay, I'd say we have a quorum now. Give Mike a chance to get all the way on.
Mike's muted there.
Mike?
Now it did. But can I stop my video?
Yes, you may.
It's not
As
nice.
long as you've got the piece of spinach off your front teeth.
Yeah,
So bad.
things Zoom have changed. I've been using Teams for work all the time. Zoom's changed their format, it looks like.
Yes.
Well, I'm just going to remind you all before we start the official meeting, let's keep it to official meeting business. Last meeting was quite the wandering topic. So we've only got a few things to get through today, and maybe we could concentrate on them. Oh, there's Camilla.
And Joyce, I gotta be off at 5:10. Sorry.
Okay. You're looking sunburned, Sandy. I hope you're wearing your sunscreen. Okay, so let's begin the meeting. It's the May edition of the Yarmouth Energy Committee meetings. Today is May 7th, and there are 5 of us here who are members, and then we also have our town liaison, Amanda Lima, who's right across from me and who is hosting this. Amanda and I are the only people here when we'd hoped everyone would be here and we would have refreshments and maybe we would help some solarized people. But let's go for that in June, okay? These Zoom meetings are they're just not the same. Okay, so if you want to introduce yourself, any members of the public who are here? Seeing none, we'll jump right in then. I'd like to rearrange because we're not doing the in-person with the solarized customers who needed help and stuff, and that's going on, offline. I guess I'd like to introduce the whole question of the minutes first. So I'll turn it over to Bob Palmieri, who's gotten us the April 2nd minutes. And can we get those up on the screen, Bob, to take a good look?
I have absolutely no idea how to do anything like that. Maybe Sandy could help on that.
They're right on your computer, right?
I do them on one computer and I use another computer for my Zooms. So I
They're
don't
in
have.
they're in your sent mail then. Just think, you sent like you opened the Zoom from the mail, right?
Let me see what I can do here.
I'm trying to share. I got it up.
Thank you, Sandy.
I got a new computer, so
Should be at the bottom, a green, there you go.
Oh, great. Thank you. Well done. Okay, so everyone can see this, right?
yes.
Okay, so here we are. Does the attendance look correct? Okay, I just mentioned one thing. Barry didn't renew, so he's no longer a member of Energy Committee, so he should be deleted from line 2.
Was he a member officially on April 2nd?
No,
Okay.
it was like, it's close, like March 31st, but
Okay.
okay. So, and notice our mixed format that we agreed to. Okay. Let's jump down. Is there anything that needs editing in the town energy progress, Amanda?
No, that looks good.
Okay. Yep, we had the April 11th meeting. That's correct. Bob, do you want to insert the date of the energy event at the senior center in that paragraph, upcoming energy activities?
Right here.
Okay, I will do that. As I say, on my other computer.
Okay, yeah, just take a note, and could you give us a mention right now? What
It's
the
May 20, it's May 29th.
May 29th, and what hours? Or
One,
hour?
it's at 1 o'clock. It will be from 1 to 3. It's going to be a kickoff of my office hours, and I will do a mass save presentation as part of it. So it'll, rather than office hours, it'll be me talking to whoever comes in.
Okay, so in the ballroom then?
No, in the solarium.
Solarium, okay.
Is that Colonel Mudd? In the sol-
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and have you been in touch with Barry about the decarbonized end of this?
Yeah, yes, I've been sort of holding off, and I talked to him. I didn't talk to him today. We exchanged emails, and we're going to talk tomorrow and start fleshing out a possible program and dates for this event. I had been holding off because of that series of interactions with him and his gang of people in the Action Network, and he was very, very positive today about getting started on a specific event, and we'll start uh, we'll start on that um, tomorrow.
Okay. Do you want anybody who's here to take a role in that? Because that does come before our next meeting.
No, it'll be after. Oh, in my event on the 29th. Um, no, I know fairly what I'm still toying with the idea of getting in touch with Brianna for some materials, but I think I'm gonna, just use that as a launching pad for myself, uh, reestablishing my role at the senior center.
Okay, so would you like Energy Committee people to take part? I'm not sure, like the 1 to 3 hours may make it impossible for a couple people, but it'd be good to know your preference on that.
Oh, well, the more the merrier. And they may even have some ideas when we're there talking that would help answer any questions during a question period.
Okay, so I see nothing that needs to be edited with this. Anybody else have any edits? I mean, it's in some ways it's our marching orders for today on. But if you see anything for history that should be edited about our conversation on April 2nd, jump in.
Future agenda items has got some words missing, I think. At the
Oh.
beginning, but thought we should have, who thought we should discuss having a table? Joyce?
Oh, I guess that's Joyce. You're Bob, you're kind of continuing the sentence from the category above. So just put Joyce instead of but, okay?
Okay. I realized after I had sent it that I hadn't proofread it.
No.
Yes,
The
well,
last sentence, to eliminated should be just eliminate.
yeah. Just drop the D. And I know that Sandy requested Bob and Mike to take a look at the EC page. Let's okay the minutes if there aren't any more edits. You're gonna drop that D, right, Bob?
Yes.
And then let's jump into that to just see while we have everybody. If you got a chance to do that and what you think needs doing on that, okay? So do we have a motion about the minutes or do we have further edits?
I move that we accept the April 2nd meeting minutes as amended.
Okay,
I second it.
okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the minutes go into history. Okay, now about the website, any first thoughts? I know this is something that isn't going to get done overnight, but I'm not even sure what we want to post on it anymore because our videos are always going to be posted on the town site. So we probably don't have to have as much about our meetings as we used to have. Mike, did you have any ideas what we might want to add to what's there?
I haven't looked at it again recently, so, but I mean, I remember when I first looked at it, it was just an overwhelming amount of old, out-of-date information that,
Great.
you know, so that.
Well, Amanda's a whiz, so as you're saying that, she's pulling up our website. So we can take a look right here and see what might need changing, tweaking, deleting.
So, even the Yarmouth Energy projects, I think they were old things, aren't they? Let's see.
Okay, well, I mean, you can think of them as something we're working on or something we're boasting about having worked on, I guess.
It looks like there's 2 listed: LED streetlight project and the Yarmouth solar arrays.
Hmm.
So those
That-
three.
That
This
LED
streetlight
project is
is
almost
very
10 years
old,
old.
yeah. Yeah,
11.
2013, I don't know, I mean, you want to keep stuff like that, Joyce, just to show a history of what's been done by the Energy Committee over the years? Maybe you do. I mean,
I would lean
Yeah.
slightly toward keeping it, but I'm open to arguments the other way.
Sandy got off.
Goodbye, Sandy. Don't work too hard moving out your friend's house.
Okay, the other thing, it seemed like there was were there minutes dating back to even before 2013, maybe? Are those the sort? I mean, there was page after page after page of those I seem to recall.
I think those are now switched to the town site, aren't they? Like, because there seems to be an archive of old minutes.
Yeah.
So if we still have some on here, we can just get rid of those because they're now on the town site.
Just out of curiosity, does anybody keep track of the number of hits that come to these sites?
I have no idea. Oh, IT might, but it probably is something they're too busy to do.
You can update the committee members.
Okay, we should have put committee members 2024 and then a last drop berry.
And Maryland is on the. Maryland is listed.
Oh, right,
as
Maryland right
well.
above there. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, and we should put, we should switch Bob Palmieri and Sandy together as the joint secretariat there. So that way people will know who to get in touch with for the history of us for 2024. Okay.
You want
We
monthly
might need,
We're gonna start 4:30 or not?
yeah, I was gonna say, if this is gonna be a long-term thing for Camilla and for you, Mike, I guess we need to switch to 5. I already checked and it's no problem with the town administrator's office, to have us start at 5 and then continue a little later if we do. So everybody think 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Yes.
And just think how nice it would be to be here and have the promised refreshments at 5. See, right when you're hungry?
Yeah, so there's a link that brings you to the agenda and the meeting minutes.
Okay. Mike, do you want to take a look at the energy saving mission?
Oh, sorry.
You gotta scroll down a little bit further, okay?
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, just the mission, or do you want me to look at the increase?
I think both. I'm seeing in the top line there, we should probably change selectmen to select board, now that that's changed. But I never thought I would see that change in my lifetime, but there it is. Okay, so you want to look at objectives then, Mike? Further
Well,
down?
I guess what I'd really like to do is
Oh,
pull
above.
out the plan, pull out the annual operating plan. And if everybody agrees with at least the beginning parts of that, maybe we need to update this committee mission and objectives to what was stated in that annual
In the
operating.
operating plan? Okay, well, that's a lot for us to think of doing here with small notes, but would you be willing to take that away for next month? And I mean, because you put together the objectives and just see, I mean, you put together the long-term plan, so you could discard or combine anything from the objectives that didn't cohere with the long-term plan.
Is there an updated plan?
See
Yeah.
that?
Should we change the fiscal year?
If we agree that everything that's in there is still applicable.
Okay, maybe we put that decision off till next time then, after you've had a chance to go over that.
One thing I might suggest, you see that table that Amanda just had on page 2?
Yep,
If we look at that and we agree that that's still all relevant, can we just cut that and put it in there where you've got that mission and objectives and things?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. I would just say we want to be aware that we're now promising the energy consumption and the renewable energy and the zero emission vehicles in let's see, 17 months. So
An aspiration, it's not a commitment.
aspiration, okay.
You're the English major though, Joyce, you tell me, is aspiration doesn't mean the same as commitment, does it?
Oh, it's a little squishier than commitment.
Always care. The one thing I always liked about that though was to inspire energy sustainability. I think that's a good,
Yes,
that doesn't hold us to anything other than to basically talk up energy around town and try to get
Yeah.
people to abide
Well,
by.
I mean, that's our primary role in any case, is it not?
I would say so.
well, yeah, because we're a non-regulatory committee, so it's not as if we could, march in and replace people's heating systems and their vehicles, yeah.
We don't have
And
a
run
plan.
around,
Nor would we
and-
want to, for the record.
and run around and change light bulbs.
Right, we don't have any funding and we don't have any hammers.
Yeah. Okay, so Mike, you'll take a look at that for next time then and see if there's, in the part that had a lot of detail, when you first proposed it a long time ago, it had more detail even than this. See if you want any of that other detail in there, or whether you think we're fine without it.
Well, the other detail is still there. She scrolled down the rest of the pages, right?
Yeah, but do you want it moved up?
No, I think just that summary table would be enough to put on the webpage, and then the document itself is, you can find it on the Yarmouth website, right? Like if she did here.
Yes, yeah, in the minutes, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is, when Bob sent out the minutes to look at, there was, I think, weren't there 3 sets, Bob? There were 3 sets of minutes?
Yes, yes.
Maybe the first one dating back to when? Was it February, February?
No, the first one is the one that you suggested changes to is January. And then the February meeting is the one with the big hole in it because the recording
Recording stopped. And then March,
stopped.
we didn't have a quorum.
What was actually supposed to be in the minutes, and we changed these once, but it didn't find it in the one that you had sent around, was people were supposed to get back to me with their recommendations on any changes to the plan, and nobody ever did.
They must have thought it was perfection, Mike.
Well, okay. Could be.
My only question would be the dates, because, that plan was first proposed back before the pandemic or right at the early stage of the pandemic. And I think we've lost some ground even in aspiring toward those dates, but
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked it's 3 years old.
yeah,
Where's the time go?
yep. Okay, so,
Well, can we just add 4 years to all of the dates that are on there?
Mike,
well-
it was your operating plan. What do you think?
I will review it between now and
Okay,
next meeting and come up with some recommendations.
okay.
Get that in the minutes.
So-
Bob.
Yes, I can see Bob taking notes. Mike will review it. Yes, I can see, that turning in Bob's brain. Yep, he's not going to forget that one. Okay, anything else on the website? I kind of don't understand, why we have those things above, but because those are all town categories, they're not our categories. So really, it's just everything below the pier walk that is Energy Committee.
Yes.
Okay, where are you reading? What are you reading?
Oh, the way the town website frames it on top.
Visiting, doing business, that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
that's just,
It's the town stuff.
yeah, that's just background.
Yeah,
And
okay. Camilla, any thoughts on the website? I know you have websites for your business, and that your husband is a whiz at all things, that involve structures in space. So a virtual space. So you have any thoughts before we leave that?
Just the content of the description for
Or also the
navigation.
style, like, do you think photos should be added? I mean, because we've got
The-
photos that touch on a number of things.
I think definitely visuals are effective, with sort of bullets of, descriptions. So breaking things down into bullets and links, also helpful links would be nice if we're able to. I'm not sure what the laws are regarding that.
I think we can put, we could definitely put bullets. I think we can put live links.
Links to mass
Yeah.
save, incentives, etc. Yeah.
Okay, good idea.
Aren't those things on the column on the left, links, in fact?
Yeah, like if you click on the Cape Light Compact,
But that gets you to the whole, the whole
Yeah.
website. If
you could have
we're
like a
going into,
resources tab and
Yeah.
you could list a bunch. We do for
Mhm.
other departments.
I do occasionally hear from people that they get to the compact website and then have a hard time figuring where to go. Because the way that some of the categories are divided isn't maybe the most intuitive. So we can think about whether we want to, like when we have something on the operating plan, like about electric vehicles, or we have something on the operating plan about some other aspect of energy. If there is a current incentive or current program with the compact, we could think of a link sort of cross-referencing that. But it would also make the page too busy. So we, we'll wait to have Mike review and then we can think more about the style. But Will, I think you're right that some of it is like the presentation as much as the content that we need to ponder.
Did we?
Sure. Like, for example, you have to know what Cape Light Compact is before navigating to it. So if you had a description with an image on, on the the splash page, I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
See that seal, the town seal? Did we approve a new version of that?
Yeah,
Yes, but you know what the new version was? That was necessary for the Department of Agriculture rural energy loans for residential solar. And all that was, Department of Agriculture couldn't, there was just no way in their system to deal with an organization that didn't have a sunset date. So a sunset date was added, and that was the only change. And then, of course, the sun will rise again. So, well, one hopes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we could think of bringing over some intro stuff from the compact there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so is that enough on the website for now? And we'll be talking with Mike next time about the operating plan and how to have that presented on the website and give the website a second look.
Just one thing, Amanda, did you find all the old minutes? Are they still there in this page or not? Are they? At the
yeah,
top?
if you scroll down, you can click here for meeting minutes and agenda. And then you can have them here, and then you click on each year. And you can go back to 2017.
How far does more go down to 2017?
Yeah, on here. And then I think, oh, right here. And then if you want ones that are prior to September 2016, they can be found in the archives.
Maybe we should make it even later than that if you want to. Prior to 20.
I think that's a town standard though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
where archives are, where the dividing line is between the present and the past.
Right. Yeah. So it's probably the 7-year.
Okay.
So let's see. Concerning the compact, we have a meeting tomorrow because this is one of those few times when the first Tuesday and the second Wednesday come together. It's mainly about the operating plan budget at the compact, because the budget that's in the millions is the energy efficiency budget, and those are pass-through funds that go right into activities. But the compact's own operating fund is usually between 900,000 and 1 million annually, and that includes 2.5 full-time equivalents, and it includes the expenses running the power supply fund, but that's totally separate from energy efficiency. So some marketing funds and things like that are involved. It's at the Cape Light Compact headquarters, if you're interested, the same place, the same time, 2 p.m. We don't know much about what's going on with CVEC these days. I realize they're not meeting that often. But if you have any CVEC news, even if it's not Yarmouth news, we would love to hear. But we know CVEC has like these huge meetings, and then there's a long time without meetings.
Yeah, no, I did get an email that was labeled confidential in regards to the DPW and the fire station solar, and it's not looking good. So it's based on the label of the email. I won't say anything more until
Yeah,
it's
okay.
allowed to, but
If you can think of anything going forward that we as individuals or a group could do to help the cause of the solar at DPW, like it wouldn't necessarily have to be through CVEC. I mean, in
Right,
any
of
oddball
course.
ways.
yeah, because originally they were designed third party for the
Yeah.
solar on DPW. I think it's just right now, it's between the interconnect with Eversource cost and the cost of materials.
Oh, yeah.
It
Is
seems
that going to
to be.
require a substation?
I don't believe so. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but yeah, but there's a lot.
Okay. Okay, so that's a couple categories out of the way. Then with the member items, I think that we definitely need a new project. I mean, Solarize nearly killed us, and the aftermath of Solarize and getting it fixed nearly killed at least me and I think a couple other people here. So now that that's being fixed, people are being called this month. I know somebody who has an appointment May 16th with Insight Solar, which is the vendor that's going to put up the new replacement SunPower equipment for people who paid for equipment and didn't get it. Now that it looks like that's pretty much taken care of, there'll just be, you know, some people who miss appointments or who have misunderstandings about something, but that's pretty finite compared to what we were facing 2 years ago. Does anybody have any thoughts for what we might want to do as a future mission? Bob is back over at the senior center now, giving having the office hours for people who come in with energy questions, especially about their electric bill. I think in the past it's been, but they might be about compact programs or they might be about solar. And it's even possible, Bob, that you might get some Solarize Yarmouth customers wandering in at some point, because a couple of them are in their late 80s. But you can send them to Bill Scott if you get them, because he's the current point person who's going to be running the assistance plan. Any thoughts about new directions?
Well, I think it's not a new direction because I think Mike really got it started, and that's what's going to be happening with EVs and more importantly, EV charging stations in the town. If Amanda could tell us a little bit about that meeting that they supposedly had just after our last meeting with a company that installs charging stations presumably in parking lots. Is that correct, Amanda?
Yeah, so a couple things were a couple months ago I attended a Barnstable County Works Public Works Association presentation by the Cape Cod Commission, and in their initiative as part of the energy commitment was trying to get hotels to have more of the level 3 chargers and those private entities. But as your question was in regards to town-owned parcels, so we currently have the level 2. So now there was interest in regards to the level 3. Jeff met out with the vendor and the sites that they're considering right now, but still need to subject to approval by Eversource.
Of course, yeah.
Would be the Chamber of Commerce at 424 Route 28, Town Hall here at 1146 Route 28, Bayberry Hills Golf Course at 635 West Yarmouth Road, Bass River Golf Course at 62 High Bank, and then a future location for the future parking lot as associated with the Cape Cod Rail Trail Phase 3, located on Higgins Kroll.
And they're considering level 3 for all of those, in spite of the huge price delta. That's
Right, yeah,
impressive.
yeah. So that will be more information to be, to determine, in regards to logistics and
Sure. Yeah.
and at that point, because obviously the charging time would be more attractive. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
CVAC was considering doing a round on parking lot canopies. Would EV chargers be a part of that? Do you know where the status of that round is?
that last round that I was referring to, the email, was the canopy at the fire station. So which,
Oh,
yeah, so which
yeah.
isn't looking too good
So
right now,
in,
but
in,
I
in,
think in future interest, I think those are good, good locations. I know that they prefer to, get the roof mounted because the infrastructure is already there and it's elevated, versus clearing a lot or, having to install the canopy.
But there are plenty of places in the town, uh, both public and commercial, where solar canopies might work, and of course having EV chargers connected to them is sort of a natural.
Hmm. Bob, would you want to think of a solar canopy that you've seen, like probably the ones at the Four Seas are kind of the wrong shape, but one you think would work on a town site, and then just get the price of that and cost it out? Because I would be very curious to know how much solar canopies go for. And I don't really have much of a feeling. I've assumed in the past that they were using your standard solar panels, but now with the new technology, it's possible to do much lighter things. It's possible to have the solar really be the roof on a canopy. So if you could find out, just for like pick one canopy somewhere and just trace down the cost, and that would be a big help as we ponder this and what we could help for with the town and nudging people to vote for and finance.
I must admit, I haven't actually seen one in years. So it, well, let me, since I'm on this EV charger kick, I will be happy to add that the canopy part of it to
Oh,
my
good.
searching around.
Because more EVs will appear if we have more chargers, and canopies would make them extra visible. So
Yeah, and I still want to get the Chamber of Commerce role in this and where they're going, because I mean they I mean, we're talking about, commercial centers, we're talking about motels, we're talking about restaurants, all of which have parking lots. And they're all, potential. If they have fairly high speed EV chargers in, that's going to be an attraction, for a customer. You come in and you feed your own mouth and your car's mouth as well. That's much better than having to stop at a gas station. So, it's I just think it's a no-brainer for the problem is, of course, is the cost of all these things. These are all very, very, very it's per ability to fill up a charge or a gas tank in a vehicle, the upfront costs for solar canopies and EV chargers has got to be 10 times, 20 times, 30 times more, quantum leap in upfront expenses compared with building a gas station.
So you'd suggest that gas stations would not be our natural place to approach for canopies?
No, not at all.
Okay.
One thing, does anybody here watch the ABC local news out of Boston? Channel 5 on, if you got DirecTV. Any rate, there's a segment on there, Ben Has Your Back. And I don't know if you saw it the other day. He had three people on that had contacted him because they were having problems with their solar installations from 3 different organizations. They had trouble and the people would not come to fix it and honor what they had said basically in the contract they would do. So,
Wow.
you know, this kind of stuff is rampant. There's been problems, I think, throughout the country with regard to solar installations and the prices going crazy high and all the rest of that. So just
Yeah.
I, for one, am not interested at all in getting involved with trying to convince somebody they ought to do solar. And the other
Hmm.
thing, I'd mention was, you're probably aware of it, Joyce, is Muriel over at Cape Light Compact is
Oh, yeah.
managing some grants. I don't know, I think she's got somewhere in the $350,000, $400,000 to basically get EV bikes to low-income people.
Yep.
So maybe we could plug into that and try to get a lot of low-income Yarmouth people on EV bikes.
You know, my son has an EV bike, and he's terrified to take it out of the house and leave it somewhere for fear it's going to be stolen. I mean,
Yeah.
he can take it to his place of work because he can bring it inside,
Yeah.
but anywhere else, you know, it's a movable feast, that bike, tempting to any potential thieves to, you know, scoop up.
Hmm.
I remember a half a century ago when push bikes were becoming popular around the cities, and you know, all the companies making these bike chains and locks that you know, couldn't be destroyed by metal cutters you know, even taking your front tire off the bike and leaving it, you know, tied to a fire hydrant wasn't a guarantee that you would find it again when you came out.
Well, so is there general interest in maybe having a presentation on the electric bike program? It seems like Mike is interested. Is more people interested in that? We'd have to do that as an outreach and try to do a special outreach to low-income people, because I think because the guidelines on it are quite strict, but I could see that as a worthwhile thing to do.
I don't know, can you get Muriel to come and talk to us about it?
Oh, sure. Wi-Fi has no internet access. Okay. So do we have anything else that people want to bring up for future agenda items or member items?
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I missed a few meetings, but I was wondering about the shade trees.
Mhm. That was
And
certainly
yeah,
intended to be our next project, yeah. Are you interested in getting involved in a shade tree project? Probably like a kind of working committee of like 2 or 3 members?
absolutely. I think Route 28 is a good focus um, because there are not very many trees along that route. I know that there's a lot of businesses, but some of them are large,
Yeah,
with large lots. Yeah.
okay. Well, I'd be interested in working on that too, Camilla. So I could see us uh, getting that, off to a kind of modest start. And then after everyone is done ripping up Route 28, maybe we would have great suggestions for them for what to put there. I think you're in the part of South Yarmouth where you probably come up through West Yarmouth, but there's a whole part of South Yarmouth now that's all torn up because of the sewer. Right on Route 28, and it's going to extend as far as the bridge. So it's going to look worse for a while before it looks better. But the trees definitely needed.
Yeah,
I
and I
Okay.
think
know Parker's River development is happening, soon after. And those plans are great, but extended, either direction.
Mhm.
I don't know if there is something in place for streetscaping.
I
Yeah,
I I think
I
also
don't know.
we've got to look at what I think is maybe the fastest growing redevelopment area, if not now, in the near future, which uh, is is rooted in the Station Ave, Union Street, White's Path intersection near there are several old and dilapidated commercial centers all butting up against each other there. Uh, and then you go down White's Path, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes in those areas as well. And I think trees have to be certainly part of that redevelopment.
Ugh. That's a good thought. And trees, especially on White's Path, that's that industrial commercial part on the right, and on the left you've got Route 6, like with a little bit of space and a few trees and a fence. But so yeah, that could be greatly improved with more green things.
Yeah, I mean that's what, a mile and a half or so long.
Yeah.
White's Path down to North Main Street, and then Station Ave from exit 8 down to Townhouse Road. Townhouse Road itself, I mean, they put some trees in about 10 years ago, and I think only about half of them survived. So you got a bunch of trees and then a gap and then one tree and then, you know, that whole area as well. And I mean, the part that's on the north side of Old Townhouse Road is ripe for redevelopment as well, and that butts up against a lot of town property, the transfer station, Townhouse Park, uh, and then of course Forest Road itself.
Yeah. Townhouse Park, I think there could be an issue because I think a lot of people like having the sort of sparser foliage, because if their kids are playing there, they want them to be more visible to the street. They don't want like a barrier where um, kids could be hurt and nobody would know who was going by. Let me ask someone who's a young parent here, is that at all a consideration?
I have not heard that, but that doesn't mean.
Oh, no, I was just guessing that it might be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely, unfortunately, well, fortunately, our tree budget has increased. So usually it wasn't enough. So we were more focused on removing dead trees versus putting in new trees. So now that our budget was increased, the goal is to start putting back trees that, whether it's Old Town House or other locations. So
Wow, that's really encouraging. That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, that is.
And then we have because I do the roads and stormwater and drainage. So it's better for the environment for nitrogen uptake if you put in plants to deal with stormwater. So we have a bunch of projects that geared towards putting in these tree trenches along the road right of ways. So we're focused on that. So you'll definitely see more trees.
Well, we would love to hear more about that at a future meeting, because at least Amanda and I would, love to help in any way we could. We're tree people. Marilyn Holly was also a tree person, and she and I met with Roby Whitehouse at one point and got some good tips. And then, of course, Solar Wolf went out of business and everything went to hell on a handcart. But we're back now. People are getting their solar. We can do this. Hey, Bob, did you have about the January minutes? You had, I wasn't sure from the communication, there were edits that you wanted to add to them that came from Mike?
Yes, and I did that.
Okay, so and they've been approved, or do you need our approval?
I think Mike has to. Mike has to agree to what I wrote, I guess is the way I should put it.
Okay, I
Mike, you feeling reasonable?
don't have it in front of me right now, Bob, but I thought that what you sent out this week, last week, whatever it was, to be reviewed, looked to me like it was your original one, and it did not include the change that was made a couple of months ago. So.
Well, I'll have to go
Okay,
back.
so let's put that off till the next
I don't
meeting
have it in
then.
front of me right now. but-
Because I just forwarded something that the rewrite that I did several months ago. I did not go back and look at it again.
Okay, as far the big change to me was just that, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting today.
Yeah.
Was that I was waiting for responses from committee members as to any recommendations they had on the thing. So it wasn't like I was going to go out and rewrite it. I was waiting for their recommendations, and have not received any.
Yeah, well, that part of it wouldn't be in the minutes, obviously.
Not receiving them, but
Yes.
it's the minutes, instead of, I think the minutes originally as written said that I was going to go out and change it. And no, I was going to wait for.
Gonna take comments, yeah. Okay, well, let's, if this is something that has to have something added to it, then it would have to be approved. So let's put that down as something that we have to give a quick look to and approve a new version of at the next meeting, like as well as, of course, the minutes for today's meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Bob, just double check on the one that you sent out in the last few days and see if that's the one that you meant to send out.
Yeah, okay. As I say, I just sort of went on to my list and clicked on you know that meeting to make it an attachment. I hadn't looked at it in months. And what are we going to do about the one with the hole in it?
well, I mean, you did a version that worked around the hole, and the videotape also shows that there was a hole. I mean, it's a big block, and then there's this little time when like the taping just like goes off, and because Sandy loses power and then back on again. So I don't think there's much that you can do with that other than saying that the power went off. But there'd be an argument against saying that, because they'd say, but you were still there, right? Weren't you listening? And they would wonder why you needed the video. So
And what
Yeah.
did we do during those that half hour?
yes, yes.
And I don't know if I turned on closed captioning this one,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you'll have your transcript this time.
Well,
Reminded
Oh,
me.
there it is.
Now it is.
Now it is.
quite frankly, about 95% of what I do is off the video, and I mean the closed captioning tests. It's not like a play script. There are no names of who's talking. You have to figure out who's talking, and it goes on for pages and pages and pages. What it's good for is a laugh when the transcription system totally misses what is being said and starts writing writing what is essentially nonsense. But that's not much good for doing the minutes. So I rely mostly on the minutes. I mean, on the videos to do the minutes, because you got the visual of the person and the voice, so you know exactly who is talking.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that gets uploaded sooner than last time.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay, well, is there anything else we should be tackling today? Seems like a bit of a catch-up meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. I guess that's unanimous. Well, listen, a big thank you, all of you, to Amanda for coming here. She's here in person, like your chair.